Hi everyone, Nerdy Brickster here. Today I'm going to be talking about set 75014, the Battle of Hoth, new for 2013. It is $50 and 426 pieces. This is going to be a very, very long review because I have quite a bit to talk about in this set. Almost all good things. I really, really like this set. So, without further ado, we can dig in. First minifig we have here is Luke Skywalker. One of the most detailed sort of rebel outfits I've seen. In the past I actually have another one here I can compare with. Just everything's just a little bit more detailed. And it was funny because this used to be like the very detailed one, but now we've got printing on the legs, printing on the belt even, quite a bit there. And then if we flip it around, we also have some on the back as well. Like he's got wrinkles on his clothes. I mean, that's crazy. So, very, very good job with Luke Skywalker here. You can also see his helmet has quite a bit of detail on it. He's also got he's got a lightsaber too. Well, we've all seen a lightsaber before, so I'm gonna drop it. If you look at his head, he's got the nice. His goggles have a little bit more detail than some of the goggles we've seen in the past. Similar to the goggle setup, it's printed on his face. And he does have a double-sided face, just sort of a generally distressed look over here. He doesn't look really happy on either side, so Luke's never going to be happy. Next up, we have General Reekin, which is a highly unfortunate last name, but whatever. This is him. He's got a tiny little gun here. Nice printing on his front and back. It's nice. They even got the well, for some reason, according to Family Guy, he's got the Purina Cat Chow logo on his thing, but it's nice that they included that. Nice hair piece, sort of just a pretty standard face. He does come with a helmet, like most of the Hoth troopers have, but I don't usually have it on. I prefer to have the hair piece on. So, there's that. We have two Hoth troopers. Both bodies are they're identical in every way except for their faces. They both have a little smirk on them. This guy just hasn't shaved in a while. They both have the very long guns. Right here they've got the backpacks and then the helmets. The goggles do come off and cover their face, but it looks kind of dumb, so I'm not going to do it. If you look at my review, I'm going to post a review very soon about the Hoth Trooper Battle Pack. I explain it in that video, but that's not really the focus of this video. So, there's those two. We have two. I only have one of them out, but here's two of the Snow Troopers. Pretty standard gun, some nice printing on the body. Pretty much everything we've come to expect from a Snow Trooper in the past. Nothing really new here, except the only thing that's different about him, which I find funny, is that he's got a printed face. And they've been doing that with a lot of stormtroopers lately, but the thing that weirds me out about it is the eyes are empty, and the black head is what gives it sort of the black effect. So I don't get why they'd give him a printed face, because in order to give him the eyes the right effect, you have to turn his head around, like I've done. So that's kind of interesting. If you sort of see what I'm talking about right now, he's got if I can hold on to him for a sec, he's got the black sort of eye holes, as that's how these Snow Troopers are supposed to look. So when his head's turned around, it doesn't really work quite as well. Oh, get on there. So next we have not really a minifig, but kind of a minifig. So I'm going to count them. Is we have a Tauntaun, very nice Tauntaun. He's got the little rope sort of in his mouth, which is it's a very flexible piece, which is nice. Then right here we've got a little spot for General Reekin or whoever you want to put in there to sit. He's got little clips, and that's where I put Reekin's gun. His arms move, but his legs do not. They are stationary. And yeah, he's pretty plain, nothing too special. He's got a couple zits up here, he's got a pop, but other than that, he's pretty normal. As normal as a Tauntaun can be. So I usually put General Reekin in there, and I stick his gun sort of off to the side, but I'm not going to do that right now, because I know I won't be able to handle that one-handed. Now getting into some of the Imperial stuff, we have the Imperial Probe Droid. which is, I'm extremely excited to have him. One of my favorite parts of Empire Strikes Back is just having this guy sort of float around Hoth. I don't know why, but he's awesome. I love him. He's got a couple different. He's got all these little droid arms here in black, except the two of them are holding guns. So from a distance, it just looks like different sized arms. He's got a couple little eyes here, and a little antenna on top. He looks really, really nice. I really like him. And he's on sort of the clear plate to sort of give him the illusion of hovering. Now, continuing with the what we have with the Empire, over here is a Snowtrooper speeder, which is I'm also excited to have. Pretty much the same as the ones we've seen on Endor. Nothing really new with the design. It just happens to be in white. There's the other Snowtrooper on top. There's a little place to put his gun, which is nice. Other than that, it's pretty standard. If you don't have one, I'll just go give it a quick once over just so you can sort of see how it's built. But nothing too new here. So there's that. Then we have a machine gun here for the other Snowtrooper to have. I'll put him sort of next to it in a sec so you can just get a sense of scale. But there's a little rope. It's not a particularly flexible rope. I mean, it bends, but it just springs right back. So it's not really a rope, but whatever. Sort of leads back here to either the ammo or the battery. I'm not sure what this actually is. I mean, it's laser, so I can't imagine it's ammo, but who knows. And then it's sort of hovering on this little piece because the gun can't support it on just these little levers, but whatever. And it's got a nice little control thing. And the other Snowtrooper does have a gun, so I usually put the gun right in there, if I can do it one-handed, which I won't be able to. I did. So, and then that sits there nicely, so we can just use that. Now, moving on to the Rebellion, we have sort of the front lines right here. It's nice. They all come on sort of this little, there's 2 pivot spots. So it's got 3 main chunks to the front lines. I'm going to spin it around so you can look at it from the back. Here we have a pretty hefty gun. Looks very nice and does a complete 360 spin. It's plugged in here, if it'll focus, to basically one of these right there. And you can see that's how it's spinning. It's just sort of plugged in there, and that's very, very nice. Now, since these troops all have guns, it's nice that they included these little hooks, so you could put sort of some ammo right there while he mans the beefy gun, if you will. So you can stick him there, have the gun there, and then you don't have to worry about having this thing waddle around. It's locked in there while he's manning the gun. Right here is sort of the main component. Nothing really there. That's sort of the opening to the trench where they just all fire. Basically, the main feature of this is that it's got the storage for all of them. It's got an extra slot right there. Then here we have a shovel and a pickaxe, just in case it gets snowy. That happens generally on an ice planet. Then over here, there's this little thing. I don't really know what it is, but it's there. And then in here, this is kind of funny, we have a little rebel hot dog. So when they get hungry from shooting at AT-ATs all day, they have a hot dog. So that's there. And so that's pretty much the main front line, I guess you could say. Now, next we have the Hoth dish turret, a very famous dish turret, which looks phenomenal, by the way. It's got the nice sort of, oh great, I just knocked over a chair. It's got the nice, sort of grid to it, the grid look. This is a flick fire missile. You flick it from back there, and it pops out. So that's kind of nice. That's the farthest I've ever accidentally shot a flick fire missile. cool. They're very, very beefy, but the whole thing rotates up and down. You have this nice smooth piece right here, the two handles right here, and then it took me a while to figure out what this was, because I was expecting a piece to attach to it. I mean, it pivots up and down, but it took me a while to realize that this is actually this is sort of the scope. Like those are eye holes for the little Lego guy to look through. So when he's about to shoot, he can sort of look through there, and those are his binoculars, I guess. So that's what that is. And then down here we have a couple other places to store guns, right there. And then behind this chair right here. This chair, it doesn't really swivel as much as it just rests on this one piece, and it kind of is free to move around if it wants to. There's a gun storage place, as well as binoculars. And then this also swivels, and it's sort of a computer screen for, I don't really know what. It looks nice, so I'm glad that that's there. And you sort of have a guy sitting there. I don't really know what it controls. Then we move around here, and then in here is another little hidden treasure. We have a little mug, so they can have some hot chocolate. So in the instructions, it's sitting on the box, but I put it in the box so it doesn't fall. So, and then the underside of this is hollow. I don't really know if that was for anything, if they were for more storage or what, but it is hollow in case you want to have, I don't know, a guy sleeping or something. So that's the sort of dish turret component. Now we're going to move on to the final component, which is the Snowspeeder. At first I was actually expecting the Snowspeeder to be fairly small, just because there's so much to this set. I didn't think they were going to completely recreate the Snowspeeder, but they did. So that's nice that they did that. The main thing that jumps out at me, and probably does to you as well, is if you look at this Snowspeeder in comparison to past ones, it doesn't really have as much orange. In the past, they've been very white, gray, and orange. And for the most part, there's only these two orange pieces and then a couple stickers with some orange detail, and that's it. There's this sort of brick red, which sort of surprised me that was in there. A decent amount of tan, and then for the most part, everything was just gray and white. So I was surprised when I saw that, but I think it looks fine. I don't recall in the movie them being particularly orange, so that's nice. So I'm going to start with the cockpit on this one. My big complaint about the cockpit, I really actually love the cockpit. It's just one thing that sort of bothers me, is that it doesn't really clip very well. So if you pick it up like this, it just slides open, because it doesn't actually secure to anything. There's nothing here that it sort of plugs into, which just sort of rests on these two studs. So it doesn't really plug in. So that's my only complaint with the cockpit. Other than that, I like it. Mainly because, this is very movie accurate. If you remember, Luke and Dak are sort of talking, and the whole thing just comes down like that. It doesn't open. I know the 1999 set, this pulled back, and then this one also opened. But so it's nice that this is one component. And also this opens very well. I know in the 2004, I think, in the 2004 set, every time you pulled this back, this would just fly off the top. So it's nice that this one doesn't do that. So there's that. There's some nice stickering on here too, by the way. It'll focus. Maybe not. There we go. It's the SS or 55, or just not English. That's a possibility too. So on the inside, pretty standard. We've seen this pretty much in every AT-AT. We have the, or we've seen this in every Snowspeeder. We have the AT-AT in the display. What's interesting is this is a sticker. I know in the 1999 and then the 2004, I think, or maybe 5, Snowspeeder, this was a solid piece with the AT-AT on it. I can't speak to the 2010, I think, one. But that's cool that that's there. And then I haven't seen this in the past, but there's actually on the other side where the back gunner sits, there's another one that's the display is just the AT-AT's legs. which is very, very cool, but since we all know they shoot the harpoon cable at the AT-AT's legs, and that's what takes them down. So it's very cool that they included, just the legs. I thought that was very, very nice. So that's the cockpit. The one other thing that's weird about it is that they're all these pieces are smooth. There's no, when you put Luke in there, like I'm about to do right now, he doesn't actually sit. He just sort of slides around and has a good time. And I mean, you can sort of lay him back a little bit, but he doesn't fasten anything. So that's interesting. There is his lightsaber does fit in here very nicely too. Just by the way, I put that right there, and then this closes, kind of. And then as for the back of the AT-AT, obviously we have the tow cable. This is very, very nice the way they did this. This piece sort of lifts up, but as you can see, it looks extremely movie accurate to the point where I almost think they made this just for the set. Or maybe a previous Snowspeeder, one of the more recent ones that I didn't have. But obviously this sort of unravels, and then the tow cable comes out. I'm not going to unravel it a whole lot because it's just string, you know what that looks like. But yeah, it tucks in there nicely. And then good amount of detail too. I really like the way that looks with the sort of vent pieces and then this ridged piece. And now just onto sort of the rest of the Snowspeeder. We've got the nice, long guns out that stretch out to the front. A little sticker there. It's not on the other side, which is strange. Some nice smooth pieces here. This lifts up as usual, revealing this is just, rather than sort of the Rebel symbol before, this is just sort of just wires and computery stuff. So there's that. This one has the same thing. Sorry about that, it just sort of cut me off in mid-video. I don't know why, but probably because it was a very long video. But like I was saying, this lifts up, very smooth, no sticker here. And then that's pretty much it for the AT-AT, or sorry, for the Snowspeeder. Nothing really remarkable else about it. I think it looks very, very nice with the white and gray. So yeah, that's that. And for those of you who don't know, this is sort of one in a series of a bunch of sets that are coming out for Hoth, and they're basically giving you the opportunity to recreate it, the entire opening of the movie, the first half hour or so. We have this right here. I also have with me on the table just so I can show you it all together, sort of, the Hoth Battle Pack, which I will do a review on very shortly. We had the Wampa's Cave with Snowspeeder. We had the Echo Base. So they're coming out with all of these sets that you can sort of, build on together. Same thing what they're doing right now with Return of the Jedi and all of Jabba's stuff. So it's nice that they're doing that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, like I was saying, I have it here just so you can sort of see, just to get a quick impression of, you can really assemble all of this stuff together and give it a really, really great look. If you put this guy here, toss him here. If you just sort of put some of this stuff together, just combine two of these packs. I mean, this was like $12, the battle pack, and it just gives Hoth like a very, very full look. I mean, there's your front lines right there. Everyone's sort of chipping in, doing their part, and I mean, it looks busy. And then here's a Tauntaun, and then over here you have half of these guys. I don't have the other Snowtrooper pack with me, but if you put them together, it just comes together into a giant scene. So if you've been collecting all the Hoth stuff, you're in a really great situation right now. So I'm gonna stop talking now because I gave you one of the longest reviews I've ever done in my life. But so I just wanted to leave you with that, and basically knowing this is a great set just to sort of beef up your Hoth collection. I would really recommend it. I'm probably going to give this set a 10 because I can't find anything wrong with it, with the exception of my little snippet about the top of the Snowspeeder there. Everything else about it is great. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad I picked it up today. It was sort of by chance that I was able to get my hands on it, so I really, really, really recommend this set, and it's going to be out for quite a while because it's brand new, so I would definitely recommend you guys pick it up. So with that, I will sign off.